to the Airgun Show. This week I've got the Brocock Contour XL Elite out on the test range, but before that I'm targeting rabbits after dark with the brand new Pitch Black Fieldmaster Night Vision unit. I'm out this evening with the new Fieldmaster unit from Pitch Black Night Vision. We were out a few weeks ago with the Pitch Black Hunter and we had a great night out after rats. Made a good bag of rats. This new unit is 40% smaller, it balances really well and has also got some really nifty features. We're pitting it against some tricky rabbits this evening and hopefully it's going to do the business for us. It's not just a night vision unit, it's also a pretty accurate daytime scope when it works in full colour. I've notched up some really impressive groups with it on the garden range while practicing, but I would point out that the footage that we've shot through the unit isn't quite as crisp as what you would see through the built-in high-res screen. The digital scope has a magnification of 5 times. You can also customise the reticle, changing the colour, adding different aim points for windage and elevation, and you do that via the on-screen menu. The onboard battery will give you a run time of about 12 hours. The whole kit costs £385 and that includes a powerful adjustable torch and a top quality infrared designator, both of which mount onto the onboard Weaver rails. The main unit comes with mounts and a charger for the onboard battery, so you've got everything you need to get up and running. Let's see what we can do with it this evening.
It's always exciting heading out to put a new piece of kit through its paces, but this isn't just for fun. I've also got a job to do.
This farm's seen quite a lot of shooting pressure over the months and the rabbits are pretty edgy as a result. Hence the decision to try and target them with night vision this evening. I know this hedgerow contains quite a few rabbits, and this spot gives me a nice elevated vantage point where I'm hopefully going to be able to pick them off when they venture out at dusk. The grass is pretty low, so I shouldn't struggle too much to keep the muzzle clear because I'm going to be laying out shooting off a bipod this evening, so I've got a nice steady platform to shoot from. I've also picked an area which isn't too thick with thistles, so hopefully I'll be relatively comfortable too. Right, that looks just about perfect to me, so what I'm going to do now is get the bipod ready and load up.
The Daystate Huntsman's multi-shot magazine is a real asset for this sort of shooting and will save me from having to fumble for pellets in the darkness when it's time to reload. The light's beginning to fade, but I won't be neglecting fieldcraft basics. An ambush like this hinges on keeping still and quiet. Even at night, quarry can still sense you if you're silhouetted against the sky. My low position should help to counter that. Even at dusk, a glimpse through the Fieldmaster is a revelation. This rig offers 5 times magnification and an effective range that far exceeds that of any airgun. So far so good, but its real test will come once I get some quarry in its sights. Luckily, that happens very soon as a rabbit ventures out for its evening feed. I've got no problem tracking it with the Fieldmaster, and its handy video out facility means we'll be able to record the shot.
It won't keep still.
If I ever get one. At last, the rabbit stays still long enough for me to drop it with a well-placed pellet from the Daystate Huntsman.
Got it. I don't think I would have seen that one with a day scope. It's just starting to get dark now. I haven't got the illuminator on. But a perfectly good sight picture to take that shot. The rabbit's cleanly killed. So I'm going to sit tight in the hope that one or two more venture out.
It starts to get too dark for filming, but through the Fieldmaster, it's still clear as day.
The main camera is struggling for light now, so we're going to switch over to infrared. I'm also going to pop on the illuminator on this one. And fingers crossed, we'll get more rabbits venturing out now under the cover of darkness.
The IR illuminator boosts visibility downrange, but it doesn't alarm my quarry, which remains blissfully unaware of my presence. This rabbit proves the point. It's completely oblivious to the end.
Another good kill. Starting to get a bit misty now, but I'm still getting a decent, fairly sharp sight picture. I'm seeing outlines as well as just eye shine. More than enough distance for shooting at airgun range.
That's two down, but I'm not done yet.
The secret to this sort of shooting is keeping still and keeping quiet, which isn't ideal when you're trying to make a video. Nonetheless, I'm convinced that the stealth of being able to shoot in complete darkness is making a difference tonight, and all being well, we'll get the opportunity to bag one or two more yet. Nicky's just told me that he's seen a heck of a lot of light at the front of the unit. That's coming from the infrared illuminator. We can't see it with our eyes and our quarry can't see it. It's because we're filming in infrared.
Right on cue, another rabbit shows up. It's feeding away with its head down, so I give a quick click to make it sit up.
That was the third rabbit of the evening, and just like the others, it was pretty oblivious to our presence. Certainly goes to show that the kit's working.
I soon get a chance to bring the bag to 4, but the shot's not quite on.
There's another rabbit out, but it's just a little bit too far to attempt the shot. I'm going to leave it, and if it ventures out a bit further from the hedge, I may try to creep within range.
That rabbit was reluctant to venture away from cover, and the reason why soon becomes clear. This fox is one to tell the farmer about, but it's safe tonight, and so is the rabbit, which sensibly made itself scarce.
What a sight that was. That fox was probably about 100 metres away. Typically, it's gone right through where that rabbit was. So he's long gone, we're not going to get a chance at him now. What we're going to do is call it a night and pick up the rabbits we have shot before old Charlie comes back and makes off with them.
It's been a successful debut for the Fieldmaster night vision unit, but there are still plenty of occasions when you need a more traditional light source.
Well, the night vision of the Fieldmaster and the accuracy of the Daystate have made for a pretty decent evening's rabbiting. And I tell you what, I'm really appreciating having that torch on board. When you come up with night vision, it's all too easy to forget to bring a lamp, but it's an absolute essential for tasks like picking up shot quarry, reloading magazines, and in my case, finding my way safely back to the car. The pitch black Fieldmaster in action there, proving that you don't have to eat carrots to see in the dark. And now, it's over to the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news, brought to you by gunbid.co.uk. The control of grey squirrels has a vital role to play in the conservation of Scotland's indigenous red squirrels, according to Scottish National Heritage. The report identifies grey squirrels, and specifically the squirrel pox virus they spread, as the biggest threat to the reds. Red squirrel populations can recover from crashes caused by disease as long as numbers of grey squirrels are kept low. The report outlines action to be taken in 18 red squirrel stronghold sites across Scotland, but does not state whether or not airguns will be used for the control of greys. A report from Sweden says shooters should take measures to avoid lead contamination when preparing shot game for the table. The report suggests that bullet and pellet tracks be cut away from shot meat and disposed of to avoid contamination in the food chain. The report focuses on lead in game meat shot with bullets fired from high-powered rifles and shot fired from shotguns, which are far more likely to leave significant residue than airgun pellets. And, as air rifle hunters shoot most of their quarry with headshots, pellet tracks are already being removed when game is prepared for the table. For more information, visit the Basque website. Over the last 10 years, gun crime is reduced by more than half. That's the story told by the latest statistics, which show that reported offences fell by 6% in the past year. That makes 6 consecutive years of crime reduction, and the overall number of offences has now dropped below 5,000. Gun crime is falling faster than the overall rate of reduction across all crime. And finally, Scottish landowners' general licences could be under threat after a new proposal was made to allow licences to be revoked on suspicion of wildlife crime. Even if they are never convicted, the proposals, made by Scottish National Heritage, could see landowners' licences to shoot pigeons and other pest birds taken away. It's part of a new set of measures to stamp out raptor poisoning. But Basque said it was concerned about the proposal, saying the withdrawal of the general licence would affect conservation and agricultural interest. That was the Airgun Show news.
We were promised good things when Brocock was taken over by Daystate's parent company and moved up to share their factory. And if this gun's anything to go by, they weren't kidding. The Brocock Contour XL Elite is a beautiful looking, lightweight carbine air rifle. The Minelli walnut stock has very elegant lines and is a real head turner. Tailored for right hand use, it doesn't just look good, it fits like a glove, and a left hand version is also available. The butt section's been cut away to reduce weight, but the gun doesn't feel at all front heavy as a result. In fact, it's very well balanced. The gun's thumb hole stock has nice deep cutaways that cradle your trigger hand perfectly, and there's also the option to shoot thumb up if you prefer. The pistol grip has a nice steep rake that gives near perfect trigger attack. Also on the pistol grip and at the fore end is nice sharp checkering, though to be honest, gun fit's so good you don't really need that checkering to improve grip, although it does add to the gun's pleasing aesthetics. It's impossible to fault the finish of this tidy little Brocock. The cylinder is finished in a deep black with a slight gloss to it, while the barrel shroud and the action are finished in matte, and the two contrasting textures actually work very well together. The Lothar Walther barrel is crowned and choked, and that should make for accurate shooting. If you screw off the end cap, it's threaded to accept a silencer, and you'll probably want to add one because it's got quite a muzzle crack without. A quick fill adapter makes for fast and easy charging. There's a neat little collar at the front of the cylinder to keep dirt and dust away from the inlet. Just give it a twist to open up, push in the probe and fill to 200 bar. There's a pressure gauge at the front of the cylinder. Now I've moaned about this before on other guns because I don't like the way it encourages you to put your head at the dangerous end of the gun to see how much airfill you've got left. Anyway, the test gun gave about 55 shots in .22 caliber, round about 11 foot-pounds. In 177 you can expect about 50 shots per fill. The gun has a 6-shot rotary magazine and you also get a spare. The mag sits nice and low in the action, so there's no chance of it fouling a low mounted scope. To take it out, draw back the bolt and the mag pops out from the right. It's a nice simple design and it works like a cog. It's very easy to reload. Just remember to have the larger central circle facing back towards you as you load pellets nose end first. When it's full, pop it back in from the right, return the bolt on the forward stroke and it's ready to fire. In action, the reverse stroke of the bolt cycles the magazine and cocks the gun, and the return stroke probes the pellet home. It's smooth and reliable, but I'd prefer a bigger bolt handle. It would improve grip considerably, and I reckon it would look better too. Disappointingly, there's no safety catch. You could argue that the gun needn't be cocked and loaded until it's just about time to take the shot, but rightly or wrongly, most hunters tend to keep their gun cocked in the field with the safety catch on, so I reckon that makes it a pretty essential component. The trigger's actually pretty good and the blade is excellent. Although it's quite distinctively curved from top to bottom, the front edge is wide and flat and makes for really comfortable operation. The first stage is quite short and it comes to an abrupt stop. Straight from the box, the second stage to the let-off was a little bit heavier than I would have liked, but that's actually quite reassuring given that there's no safety catch, and I still found it very crisp. So, this little Brocock is kind on the eye and looks to be very well engineered. Let's blast a few targets and see how it shapes up on the range. That is a fantastic group. It's quite a breezy day today and I was timing my shots to take them between the worst of the gusts, but that's still way better than I'd expected. 5 shots in that group, probably within 10mm centre to centre, and that was shot over 25 metres in less than perfect conditions. I was also a little bit worried that being such a light gun, just over 2 kilos unscoped, with the heavy second stage of the trigger, I may have just been pulling the shots off slightly, but not a bit of it. Accuracy wise, that's absolutely spot on. With a price tag of around £620, this isn't a cheap air gun, and it's in competition with the likes of the BSA Ultra SE and the Air Arms S400. But this handsome little Brocock isn't just kind on the eye, it's also an impressive performer. And if you're in the market for a lightweight, compact air gun that looks good and shoots well, it should certainly be on your list. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again in a fortnight. Please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, it's time you joined the organisation that works to promote and protect your sport.